What's going on, you all? I'm bringing it back, the Prophletics Podcast. I started a podcast on this channel maybe a year or so ago, but I fell off of it. I focused more so on solely the instructional videos and the shorts. However, I neglected the importance of a podcast because a podcast is supposed to be informative to you all. Even though I'm providing visual instruction on how to do things on my main page with the videos or whatever, I neglected the informative benefits of a podcast. So this podcast right here will be about, of course, boxing, of course, Capoeira, and of course, fitness, getting in shape, giving you the real about getting in shape. No cookie cutter stuff, no nonsense. So before I get started into this podcast episode, please make sure you give me a like, comment, share, subscribe, even turn on your notification bells, because we're going to get into this thing. Fitness, boxing, and capoeira. Boxing on an amateur pedigree, also boxing on a professional pedigree. My personal experiences with both boxing and capoeira. My personal experiences and my personal professional advice as far as getting in shape, hitting the gym, and fitness goes. Because y'all get a lot of cookie cutter stuff and y'all get a lot of nonsense. So the first thing I'm going to start on subject-wise today is Happy New Year, right? New Year, new me. This next bit of advice and this next segment is for you individuals who are starting to get back in the gym. Those of you who have not been consistent with a workout program, and let me define consistency really quick, okay? By consistency, I mean a program that lasts 6 months or more. 30 days ain't enough. 30-day challenges are cool, but 30-day challenges are supposed to build up into 60-day challenges, which builds up into 90-day challenges, which compounds over time. Some people have done 30-day challenges and let the entire program go. That's not what I mean personally. By my standards, that's not what I mean by consistency. Consistency means that you have been doing this for 6 months to 9 months to a year to 2 years to 3 years. So what's going on is a lot of you individuals who have not been consistent are going to go to the gym in the beginning of the year, right? And you're going to do too much. You're going to go way over the top. You're going to try to, because you haven't been consistent over the past years, 6 months to years. You think that just because it's the 1st of January, the first week of January or whatnot, that you're going to carve out an hour of time every day to dedicate to something that you're not used to doing. That's too much. That's too much. That's how you face burnout, okay? You're going to get burned out. You're going to get burned out. The individual who I might have just pierced with that statement, you're going to get burned out because you haven't given your body enough time to adapt to a new program. It takes 21 days to develop a habit. You're not going to go to the gym 21 days straight for an hour. You guys that I am talking to right now, I hope that you are going to take what I say personally and to heart. Focus on the small, okay? The small victories, the small personal victories that nobody sees, the small victories that feel insignificant are the ones that actually equal up to the large amounts of wins. So what am I implying that you need to do? 20 to 30 minutes a day. It's so small that it's easy to do. It's easy not to do as well. However, it is a small habit that is easy to do. So that is how you establish a routine within yourself. Is by fragmenting. Is by doing the little that leads up to a lot. 20 to 30 minutes. Within that 20 to 30 minutes, It could be 20 minutes of resistance training. I'm not even going to go straight to weight training right now. Resistance training could be you doing push-ups. You could do body-weighted squats. You can do crunches. Resistance training, 20 minutes of resistance training, leading up to 10 minutes of a walk, not even a jog, a walk, or the elliptical, which is the lighter of all three of the cardio apparatuses. You want to start small. Do that for a month. It's easy to do. You want to conquer easy. Don't go into complicated. You do that for 30 days, right? And then once that becomes natural and becomes your pattern and your habit, and then February comes around. You might be able to say, okay, all right, 30 minutes was easy. And now I can do that easily without any interruption, without it interrupting my schedule. Let me upgrade it to 40. Or 45. Let's say 45, just for hypotheticals. Let's upgrade it to 45 minutes, right? Now we're at 45 minutes for that month. Easy to do and easy not to do. It takes longer than 30 and 45 minutes to watch an episode of something on Netflix, Hulu, or whatever it is you watch. 45 minutes. Now you've got 30 minutes on the resistance training, and you might be doing a bit of weights now, a nice program or something. And then 15 minutes of cardio. You might be on a run-walk situation now as to where you're jogging for a minute and then walking for a minute, then jogging for a minute and then walking for a minute. But you're creating a pattern. And in that 30 minutes of resistance training, it's nothing complicated. Once again, even the exercises that you are doing is simple. So let's go back to the 30-minute situation, right? 20 minutes weight training or resistance training, 10 minutes cardio. I already told you that the 10 minutes of cardio is a walk. The 20 minutes of resistance training might be 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 crunches. That's one set, right? And then you take a break. And then you do it again. 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 crunches, break. Simple like that. Even when you get to the 30-minute scenario, you might find a machine, and I suggest you guys start with the machines. So you might find a chest press machine. So you might do 15 reps on the chest press machine, 3 sets of 15 reps. And then you'll move on to a lat pull down machine. And you do 3 sets of 15 on the lat pull down machine. And then you do 3 sets of shoulder press and something like that. And that's your upper body day, or bicep curls or whatever, upper body. Then you go to your elliptical or your treadmill, put it on a slight incline and walk for 15 minutes, or a run walk. That minute on, minute off scenario where you're jogging for a minute and then you're walking for a minute. The next time you go back, you do a leg day situation, which would be the next day because you're in a pattern now, right? So now you're hitting the gym every day because you've got the small time fragment conquered. So now you've got a assisted squat machine or an assisted leg press, a leg extension, a leg curl, calf raise situation, and then you go back to your cardio. So now you're creating these easy patterns that are easy to do over time. Because what you're going to find out is that all of these New Year, New Me individuals are going to burn out by or between Valentine's Day and spring break. Because what? They went in there and tried to do too much. They've turned on the internet. They've turned on social media, right? And they've followed their favorite influencer. Their favorite influencer said, you got to go to the gym and do 30 backflips, run 90 sprints, do 120 push-ups, 120 squats every day. Whose reality is that? How much of social media overall is reality? How much of these individuals, or how many of these individuals, are lying to you? We've already been exposed to people who edit their photos. Now you've got AI where people can edit their bodies to be doing something and manipulate themselves into looking like they're doing something they're not. So how many of these individuals are actually being authentic? And how many of them are just selling you a flabbergasted program? Something that they don't even do themselves. I'm telling you right now that if you do the small, the minor will equal to the major. So it's got to feel insignificant at first. It's got to feel insignificant possibly for the first 6 months, because that's where you're developing the consistency. It's got to be so small that you can do it, but it's also got to be small enough as where it feels like it's easy not to do, because now you're developing your mentality. It's not necessarily a physical game more than it is a mental game. Working out is all mental. It's all mental. You're turning yourself into the type of individual who can remain and be consistent. The physical body that you develop is nothing more than the mental acuity and the mental toughness that you have turned yourself into. It's about changing who you are entirely. The outside will only reflect the inside. This is where the real discipline takes place. You are destroying who you were and becoming who you have to be, because these two individuals are not the same. The person who you want to become cannot come from or cannot be the person who you are now. This person who you are now must be destroyed in order to become this individual. And where does that start and end? Your mentality. Your mentality lies within your discipline. Your discipline lies within your consistency, and that consistency lies within you turning that emotional switch off. What emotional switch am I referring to? Oh, I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like working out. And this goes to the men especially. You feeling-based men, you'll never succeed at this. You'll never succeed at much, because you put your feelings before your requirements. You cannot be a feelings-based man and succeed. I don't feel like paying these high utility bills I get every month. I don't feel like paying those bills. I don't feel like paying the mortgage every month. I would rather do something else with that money. However, let me not pay those bills. Watch what happens. Watch me be homeless. Watch me be lightless, cold, hot, whatever it is. Watch me suffer the consequences. Men should not be feelings-based, especially. I expect it more from women because they're emotionally driven creatures. And we love them for it. That's the yin and the yang of balance. We both can't be, both my wife and I can't be emotionally based individuals. You as the man cannot be an emotionally led individual. You have to go off of your principles and your requirements. You are required to get up and better yourself. You are required to be strong. But you get on the internet talking about how a woman won't follow your lead. You're unable and incapable to lead yourself into a stronger version of yourself and a healthier version of yourself. And it's not even all about the looks of fitness. The look is just the outside part. It's about the character. It's about the character that you develop. It's about the mentality. It's about who you become during the process. You become an entirely different individual. Who doesn't want that? Every man should want that. And it starts with valuing your health. It starts with valuing your body. So many of you are putting your body on a secondary pedestal next to all the material stuff. Some of you put better care into your cars and your vehicles than you do your physical body. One of the two is replaceable. Is it the car or the human body that's replaceable? This car outside that I got right now, my old 300, she goes down, I can go get another one. This human body, it goes down, oh, we've got a problem. So you're valuing the material more than you are the irreplaceable. You are irreplaceable. Do you realize now how much value you really have? You are irreplaceably valuable. Yet you don't treat yourself like such. And treating yourself like such is valuing your health. Do you know that there is an unspoken aura that you carry when you take care of your health? Let's say somebody walks in this room right now. Let's say two individuals walk in this room, right? I'm hiring for a job. Two individuals walk into a room. The first individual walks in shape, trim, takes care of himself, keeps his hygiene together, and we'll get on that too. We got to get on this hygiene. But keeps himself neat, in shape. You see value instantly before he even opens his mouth, shakes my hand, and introduces himself. You see a man of standard and discipline. Already. He didn't even have to open his mouth. You know that this individual takes care of himself. He values his health. He's clean cut. That is the unspoken aura of a man of discipline and a man who takes care of things and who values himself. Who is doing something possibly every day. I don't know his routine. But possibly he's doing something every day to uplift himself and take care of himself. Unspoken communication. In walks potential employee number 2. Fat, out of shape. Struggling to breathe when he walks in the door. What does that unspoken communication say about that individual? He's lazy. Doesn't really care about himself. He doesn't value what really matters. Why would I trust you with my company? Let's say I have a $1 million company. Why would I hire somebody who doesn't value themselves to manage or to run a $1 million company who evidently doesn't care about his own self? You don't care about your own self. You don't even value what really matters. I'm going to pick the other guy over here. I don't care what comes out of this individual's mouth over here as far as intellect. You don't value what cannot be replaced. This individual over here shows way more discipline than this individual. The in shape, already trim individual is showing a lot more discipline and characteristics of success than the individual who's fat, lazy, and out of shape. And we have to say it like that. Fat, lazy, and out of shape. We've gotten to a point where we coddle everything. This body positive stuff has to go because we have to call a spade a spade. Get out of your feelings, fellas. Get out of your feelings. Fat, lazy, and out of shape. So which one is going to get hired? The disciplined one. Absolutely. And you know what happens with these individuals who don't value what they should value with their health? Who are out of shape? Who are lazy? Who will not put forth the effort to show value within themselves? They sound like the smartest individuals in the world. They sound like the smartest individuals in the world. It is overcompensation. They have to overcompensate for what the disciplined individual displayed when they walked in the door. That disciplined individual commanded the room when they walked in the door. The aura already took over. Everybody who was in the room felt it already. Like, oh man, a man of standard. A man of standard doesn't have to talk a lot. A man of standard can control a room just by stepping in a room. It's felt. The aura is felt. The other individual, the lazy, not taking care of them. Listen, that person has to do so much talking. He has to sell himself. He has to sell himself. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you may actually be him. You can actually talk less, and honestly, you can actually know less than this individual. This individual has to overcompensate by talking too much, by talking a lot, by sounding like the smartest person in the world. You are going to go out here, Mr. Lazy Individual, you're going to go out here and say everything in the world correctly and over the top and go above and beyond knowledge base wise to try to get the person who you want to work for or work with or a contract under to look past the fact that you're fat and lazy and that you're out of shape and that you don't take care of yourself. I don't care what you recite. I don't care how many books you've read. I don't care what you can memorize and repeat. If it's not in actuality, you are a theorist. And that goes back to these personal trainers too. Listen, this one right here is going to probably agitate and aggravate people, but I'm all for it. And come and let me know if you feel different about it. This is an open dialogue. I'm all for it. Trainers who do this also overcompensate. To this day, there are a slew of personal trainers who have all of the certifications in the world. They've got master's degrees, doctorate degrees, certs stacked up to the moon, who do not actualize the science that they went and studied. Like I said before, you are a theorist until you put it into your reality, unless you have had some sort of injury that limits you. Even then, if you've had a surgery that limits you, you should still find a workaround. You should still find a workaround. That should be your groundbreaking moment, your defining moment. You should find a workaround. But these personal trainers and these people with these accomplishments and who can recite books and who can recite theory and who can recite things that if you don't actualize it, if you're fat and out of shape and you're doing all of this, you're a hypocrite and you are hypothesizing. You're a theorist. I see a lot of personal trainers who are in horrible shape attempt to lead people to get into great shape. How does that work? And here's the thing. As far as the hustle goes, I can't even be mad at the personal trainer. I can only be more disgusted at the individual who hires them because you believe more in theory than you do in actuality. If this individual or these individuals have so much education, and this is the danger of having and living in an over-informed society. It's so easy to take in information and so easy to acquire information that people neglect the action. They neglect actually putting whatever they just learned into use. So these personal trainers, they have all these certs and they sound so excellent. They sound like scholars, Harvard scholars, and salesmen. They literally are. They're the top salesmen. They're the top salesmen because they can sell you based on theory. And they have all of these educational and long words. But when you see them, do they represent what it is that's coming out of their mouth? Hell no. So what does that say about the trust in their product, in their own field. You're telling me that you know that you have to eat this, sleep like this, stretch like this, work out like this, boom, 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 and that, yes, this is what you should do in order to get in great shape. You should do this. But I'm not. I can sit back and be fat because I can tell you what to do. I can lead from my seat. I can lead from the seat and watch you do things that I won't even do. You hired a trainer and you follow trainers that tell you what to do from a distance. That makes me question the integrity of the individual who hired that trainer. I question your integrity. Do you take millionaire advice, how to become a millionaire, from somebody who doesn't even have $1,000 in the bank, who doesn't have $100,000 in the bank, who has no examples? If you do, I question your integrity. Do you go to real estate workshops and take real estate advice from individuals who own no real estate, who can show no proof of what they are selling you? If you do, I question your integrity. How can somebody guide you when they can't even guide themselves? And this is where I blame you. This is where I blame you. Because you're letting it happen. I just saw yesterday an individual who is a personal trainer who loves to get online and spit out all of these theories and how people should move and how people shouldn't do this and people shouldn't do that and how they should eat and such and such, such and such. And the joker is fat and out of shape. Shut up. Shut up, put up. The individual over here, remember? When it was time to hire him, he commanded the room before he even opened his mouth. Didn't have to say anything. What he says, when you're a living example, what you say is just proof of what you already show. Show and prove. Show and prove. Bruce Lee said it. Knowing is not enough. One must do. So there's science and there's applied science. This is applied science. Okay? Applied science. Anything that the in-shape individual says only goes further to show that his application of what he says is the truth. Your application provides the truth. These out-of-shape personal trainers are not the truth. Theorists. Somebody's going to get in here and say, oh, well, as long as they have the information, then, I don't mind if I look. Good luck with your failure. Good luck with your failure. Good luck with your coddling. Because when you're picking these soft personal trainers like that, people with no actual proof of life, what you're saying is you want a coddled approach anyway. So you're going to get subpar results because your leadership is subpar. When your leadership is subpar, you're subpar. When your leadership is solid and definite, you're going to be solid and definite. See, but this individual over here is going to demand more from you. This individual over here is strict on himself, so he's going to be strict on you. He or she's going to be strict on you. That's who you need. You need structure. You need discipline. You need display of leadership. You need display of effectivity. Not coddle, soft workaround. Not overly informed, less action. You need all the action to back up what's coming out of their mouth. You need a leader who leads from the front and not from the seat. I personally represent one of those. I believe in leading from the front, not leading from the seat. What better way to show my clients, my personal training clients, my boxing clients, and my Capoeira clients, what better way to show them that I know what I'm talking about than actually being the physical example? You lead from the front, trainers. You lead from the front. If you're an older individual, then your leadership is a little different. If you're older and your body doesn't move like it used to, then you need to at least have evidence that at some point in time, you were him or you were her. Other than that, you are a theorist. You are good at reciting words from a book, but a solid trainer and the great trainers, the elites, are actualists. They put what they say into work. They put it to work. You got to put it to work. You got to put it to work to the best of your ability. I'm 45 years old right now. I don't box like I did when I was 23. I don't have the vigor that I did when I was doing Capoeira at 35, when I first started. However, you make the way around it, and you write the blueprint for those who are in your age range. When I think about my clientele, I think about those that I have that are also in the same boat as me. The majority of them in the fitness arena are around my age range. Because I'm able to lead that age range, that is a reflection of me being that. When it comes to my combat students, my boxers and my capoeiristas, they're a bit younger. That's reflective of me still being able to slightly move and lead and be the example and kind of move at that age range. Or, yeah, I'm moving at my age, but I'm still able to do what I got to do. I don't trust personal trainers who don't put their education to use. So what, you've got a fancy wall of degrees and certifications? Your unspoken communication is what speaks the loudest, not what comes out of your mouth. Your unspoken communication is what speaks the loudest. So I'm going to get off of those personal trainers right now. I'm going to let y'all go ahead and start putting things into use, and watch how you don't have to talk as much. You don't have to sell yourself as much. If you are a living example, you don't have to sell yourself as much. Or you can continue doing what you're doing, not being an example, reading all the books in the world, because I'm reading too. I read all the time. I'm an avid reader. And I'm sure other personal trainers are as well, but for the fat personal trainers. And yes, it's fat. We can call it that. It ain't body shaming. It's what it is, adipose tissue, it's fat, right? So to you obese personal trainers, you can keep doing what you're doing too. Keep having to oversell yourself verbally, because your example is trash. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep on. But I don't respect it. Neither should the person who is thinking about hiring. You have to do a better job evaluating. And this is for people who are looking for personal trainers, who's hiring personal trainers, who's going online looking for online programs, or who's following people's video, whatever the case may be. You have to have a better evaluation process for your trainers, or for who you're going to spend money with, or who you're going to invest with to actually grow. You have to evaluate them better. It's like y'all turn off your eyes and then just say, oh, as long as he sounds good, or as long as she sounds good, then, you know, I'm going to go ahead and follow this individual and, take their advice, and next thing you know, you failed. Open your eyes. Your eyes aren't lying to you. Your eyes aren't lying to you at all. You have to have a better evaluation process for your personal trainers. A lot of these people should not be personal trainers. Theorists. Terrible theorists. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Horrible, okay? I hope that you guys really got something out of this video. I think it's very important to touch on these subjects because we live in such a soft and passive society and this body positive society that we've allowed body positive personal trainers to come in and be guides for people's health. Guide you where? Are they saying that when you look like them that you've succeeded? Guide you where? Guide you how? Do better. Do better. Hope you liked this episode. Hope you enjoyed this episode. A lot more to come. We'll talk boxing. We'll talk capoeira. And we'll talk fitness. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know. Have you ever worked with an overweight, out of shape personal trainer? Let me know your experience. Drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. Let me know how that worked for you. Let's work on being better, y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next episode.